A large model Showman'S engine, welcome to part 85. Facing the chuck jaws after machining the stainless steel cover, looking at various possibilities for a cylinder oiler on the cover, drilling the hole in the centre of the outer cover 3/8 of an inch in diameter and making the inner mounting to hold it in place. But first I need to machine the jaws of the chuck that are partially machined when I turned the cover. And yes, I know it was just a thing of convenience and it's not really proper engineering, etc, blah blah blah. But now all I have to do is clean up the part that I machined when I was making the cylinder cover and all will be well. And dare I say it, better in fact, because the original register that I'm machining was not particularly good. When I fitted the freshly machined cylinder cover to it that was accurately machined, it wobbled slightly. I tried various packing methods that I never showed in the video to move the cover slightly away from this register, but none of them were really successful and I started to get a bit of chatter because of the resonance. I'm still using the first of the carbide tip tool inserts that I bought. This is number 1 of 10 and this is face number 1 of 6 available. The tool is still very sharp and makes short work of machining the jaws, despite the intermittent cuts on the individual jaws. As you can see here, the finish that I got on the chuck jaws was really good. And even though the original jaws were ground, this is actually better. I needed to enlarge the hole in the centre of the stainless steel cover. I did notice that the cover ran much more accurately pressed up against the jaws that I'd machined than it did previously. I need to fit something to hold the cover in place that allows me to pump oil into the cylinder for winter storage to prevent any rusting. I have a collection of various valves in the small plastic drawer labelled drain cocks. I think I may try a check valve, that would work, or maybe just a fancy removable plug. I'll show this in the next episode. Here's the clip of the cylinder cover fitted to the chuck that I'd machined, and as you can see, it is running a good bit better. I could never get the chamfered part to run perfectly true, but it's okay for what this is. Here I'm enlarging the hole in the centre to 3/8 of an inch in diameter, because I need to make a spigot, that's a good word, spigot, to fit through the centre of the cover after it's been threaded 1/2 inch by 32 threads per inch to match the hole in the original cylinder cover that I made. These turning sequences are not running as fast as they look. The video is running faster, just to get through the job in a reasonable time. I'm machining a piece of leaded bronze, and I'm reducing the diameter of part of it to 1/2 inch, and this is just before I achieved the 1/2 inch. You will notice that the very end of this part is slightly lesser diameter. That's where I test it with the micrometer before taking the main cuts. And that was the final cut. I'm now threading the 1/2 inch part using one of my many hand die holders that are all preloaded with the correct dies and set to cut the threads accurately. To keep everything square, I used the tailstock die holder post in the tailstock and just chase it all the time as I'm threading. And in no time at all I had a near perfect 1/2 inch by 32 threads per inch thread. In this clip I'm using a very thin parting tool just to get rid of the radius that the tool leaves between the flat part and the thread. The final job is to carefully use a file and get rid of the sharp edges. This is not a precision item, and to be honest I didn't measure the part, I've done it by eye. Let's have a see how accurate it is. And this is how I'm fitting the part together. I'm using 2 1/4 BSF bolts in the 1/4 BSF threaded holes that allow for easy removal of the cover from the cylinder, and a piece of mahogany to tighten the cylinder cover onto the part that I've just made. I was getting ready to machine away any excess leaded bronze, but there really wasn't any, so I left it as it was. This part needs to be precise. I've turned the work around in the chuck and I'm parting it off to the length that I require. Now I need to machine this down to a diameter of 3/8 of an inch, which took quite a while and made a lot of swarf as usual. And as usual, a health and safety warning, never touch swarf. The brass and phosphor bronze stuff is really sharp and sticks in your fingers, and the other stuff that comes off the stainless steel or mild steel cuts has the sharpness of razor blades, so I'd never even think about touching that. I've learnt the hard way over the years and cut myself frequently, but now I'm sensible and I use a pair of grips to move it out of the way. Once I'd finished machining this part to the correct dimension, I drilled the hole through the centre and threaded one end of it 1/4 by 40 threads per inch. That is only part of the way through. The rest of the hole is 3/16 of an inch in diameter, and there's a reason for that, which I'll show in the next episode. This stuff is called Bond Lock, and it's an equivalent of Loctite 542. It's a hydraulic seal. Put it on the threads, fit the threads together, and they don't leak. And finally in this episode, I'm using a piece of mahogany against the 2 bolts to really tighten the cover in place onto the fitting. More in the next episode. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.